The scene begins with some slabs hidden between bushes, and underneath them, stairs descend downward. And the one who moved those slabs is none other than our MC Shadow. As he descends the stairs, he thinks to himself, there are only 3 types of ruins in the beginner's town. First, the tombs. Second, the cursed ruins. And third, the Temple of Faith. There's not much to say about the tombs. They're filled with hordes of monsters that are extremely difficult to kill, and in the end, there's always a gold-tier monster waiting. In the second type, the cursed ruins, the monsters are cursed by ancient gods, or evil gods. Initially, they might have been human, but over time, and after death, they transform into ghosts. In the third type, the Temple of Faith, all the monsters are believers of ancient or evil gods. These areas are extremely complex, making it very hard to find the right path. Shadow then explains that if someone completes the first 2 types of ruins, they might find special items or skill books inside. As Shadow looks at the wall, he notices some symbols. After examining them, he realizes this is a temple of faith. He thinks to himself that these symbols feel strangely familiar. Maybe they represent morals or some religious concept, though he's not sure. He apologizes to the audience and says that they can consider them as just designs. Suddenly, a realization strikes him. He exclaims, "Yes, this really is the Temple of Faith dedicated to the ancient god of judgment." From inside, he hears intense cries, and he thinks this temple's origin is the same as his Eye of Judgment. The scene then shifts to a forest where someone is fighting. We see Wang Ming using his shield for protection while being attacked. The attacker is a joint crawler, which even manages to break Wang Ming's shield. The monster lets out a loud roar and strikes Wang Ming hard, causing him to cough up blood and fall back. Wounded and bleeding, Wang Ming collapses near the MC's sister, Queen Xiao, but she does nothing. One of Wang Ming's teammates screams at her, asking why she isn't healing him and what she's doing just standing there. But when the camera focuses on Queen Xiao, we see her trembling in the rain, paralyzed with fear. Her eyes are filled with tears, and in a shaky voice she says, okay, but how am I supposed to do this?" At that moment, the 4-armed crawler stands right in front of them. Wang Ming's teammate screams again, "Damn it, it's back, do something, use your skill." But Queen Xiao, out of sheer panic, drops her staff, sits down, covers her face, and starts crying. She says, "Mom, I'm so scared." After a few moments of screaming, everything suddenly falls silent. And you can guess why. It's because Wang Ming's entire team has died and been teleported back to the main town. They all stand there silently, defeated. Not a single word is spoken. Big Plum, who's standing nearby, waves and says, "Hey, Captain, why are you back so soon? Expert Shadow hasn't returned yet, so you won't be able to buy any equipment?" One of Wang Ming's teammates then bursts out at Queen Xiao in rage. He shouts, "What the hell? I've never seen anyone so useless. You don't know how to dodge attacks, you don't know how to use your skills, and you can't even heal properly. What can you do?" Little Black tries to calm things down and says, "Why are you so mad? She's clearly just a beginner. It's her first time playing this game. It's normal to die once." But Wang Ming's teammate is too angry to listen. He growls, "Big Plum, move aside. I'll scold her so much today it'll kill her." Then their teammate Swordmaster says, "Big Plum, we didn't just die once. We've died 3 times within 1 hour." Even Big Plum is surprised and says, "Oh, that's rough." Then flexing her necklace, she says, "Let me join your team this time. I just got 2 great equipment items from Expert Shadow. I'm really powerful now. I'm confident that if I go, we won't all die again." Wang Ming, still weak, softly agrees. "Okay, fine. Let's stop arguing. Big Plum's suggestion isn't bad. Things might go more smoothly with her. Who knows? Maybe we'll even run into Expert Shadow on our way back. That would be good." Meanwhile, the MC's sister calmly says, "I'm sorry, I'll do better this time." But in her mind, she's thinking, "You people can't do anything properly on your own, and yet you have the audacity to blame me? If you didn't have a connection with Expert Shadow, I wouldn't even look in your direction. I'm so angry. This bunch of lunatics." She's barely holding herself together. The scene shifts back to Shadow, who is moving deeper into the ruin. He heads toward the source of the strange voices. When he looks ahead, he sees zombie-like monsters with twisted arms crouching toward him. A notification appears. These are level 10 devotee followers of the ancient god of judgment, and both are silver tier. Seeing them, Shadow immediately goes on alert. He uses Shadow Sneak to hide in the shadows, then suddenly uses Instant Shadow Slash to attack both. But surprisingly, the attack barely reduces their health. Shadow thinks, I clearly broke stealth and attacked from behind, yet they only lost a small portion of their health. They're only level 10 silver tier, but their combined HP already surpasses that of the Golden Ghost ship. Suddenly, Shadow notices something shocking. The monsters are bowing down toward him again. He thinks, they're bowing again? And this time toward me? But I'm invisible. Could they somehow sense the eye of judgment I have? Is that why they're not attacking me? To test this, Shadow asks, do you two know the way forward? If so, show me. The two fall to their knees but remain silent and motionless. Shadow concludes, looks like they're completely corrupted and decomposed. Their minds are gone. They've turned into wild beasts who only know how to steal life force from humans. Suddenly, both monsters let out loud roars, activate their powers, and launch an attack. But not at Shadow. Another team had entered the ruin from a different door, and the monsters charge straight at them. The team starts shouting, be careful! Monsters are coming! Shadow turns to see that the entire team is panicking. Someone screams, 2 silver tier monsters? We can't even handle one! Everyone run! We see that most of the team members die and transform into life spam. Only a mage girl survives for a few seconds, screaming before she too dies. Strange flames rise from the monster's power, and the entire team lies on the ground, transformed. Oddly, the monsters don't go forward to devour the life spam immediately. Shadow recognizes the team. They were the ones who bought the Ice Spike skill book from him. What was her name again? Grey Rose? Yeah, maybe. I never thought they'd find this ruin. Judging by their level and gear, they probably weren't planning to go too deep. Shadow thinks, today's players are too weak. Their level and equipment are terrible. I'm progressing so fast, no one else could possibly be deeper inside this ruin right now. He walks forward to pick up the life spam, and again, the monsters kneel before him. As Shadow checks the loot, he says, wow, they dropped tradable life spam worth over 100 days. I didn't expect them to be this rich. Later, we see Shadow walking in circles, returning to the same spot. He says, I've searched everywhere, and still found nothing. No traps, no treasure. Could it be that the only thing here was these 2 silver tier mini-bosses? He pulls out his poison darts, looks back at the monsters, and says, forget it. Without hesitation, he attacks both with poison darts. In just a few hits, he kills them. A notification appears. You have killed devotee followers of the ancient god of judgment. You gained 4,000 XP. Congratulations, you are now level 9. You received 4 evolution points and 188 days of tradable life spam. As always, Shadow uses his greedy hand skill on their loot. Looking at it, he says, Epic tier greedy hand is absolutely insane. 32 evolution points, 10,504 days of life spam, 4 gold tier items, and 10 silver tier items. He pulls out a necklace from the loot and says, this gold tier item is an accessory for the assassin class, called the Pendant of the Faithful. It increases agility by 15, reduces cooldowns by 20%, and can only be worn by level 8 or higher. It even has a unique effect. It can summon a silver tier devotee follower to fight for you, with a cooldown of 600 seconds. Looking at the stats, Shadow says, these are amazing. The 20% cooldown reduction brings my stealth skill from 22.6 seconds down to 19.2. Poison Dart goes from 4.3 to 3.7 seconds, and Instant Shadow Slash drops from 10.4 to 8.8 seconds. I'll be able to grind much faster now. He adds, all my current gear requires level 8 or higher, and no one else is powerful enough to use it anyway, so I'll just keep it for now and sell it later. Suddenly, Shadow hears something behind him. He turns and sees a strange circle forming on the ground, shaking. From inside, a bizarre pillar begins to rise. Looking at it, Shadow smirks and says, of course, this mechanism always activates after killing all the monsters here. The scene begins with the MC looking at the mechanism and saying, this is a hidden mechanism. Then Shadow jumps and lands right next to the pillar. A creaking sound comes from above, and the mechanism activates again. We see the entire structure start to sink downward. Seeing this, the MC wonders if it's some kind of lift. As Shadow descends slightly, the ceiling above automatically closes. But the MC doesn't seem worried at all. We're shown a scene a little later where the MC has been descending slowly through the stone lift for what seems like ages. He finally says, finally, it stopped. It feels like I've gone 300 to 400 meters deep. The MC still doesn't know what's going on here or where this place is taking him. But when he looks ahead, he says, what? What is this? The door of the old lift opens in front of him. What he sees appears to be a kind of labyrinth under a temple. Staring at the open door, the MC explains that there are certain chances in ruins like this. When you complete the ruin, a hidden maze door may open. In his past life, he had explored many such mazes. These types of mazes are full of countless traps. But as long as you have some people to act as cannon fodder, there's really no danger here. The only downside is that taking others with you just to act as bait takes up a lot of time. Then he pulls out the necklace he received earlier as a reward from the ruin. He says, with my current attributes, if I get caught in any of these traps even once, I'll basically die. But luckily, I have this. We already saw all the information about this necklace in the last episode. Now, the MC is about to use its unique effect. He extends the necklace and summons a silver tier devoted follower from it. As soon as the follower appears, the MC signals with his hand and says, go ahead and scout what's up ahead. Following the command without question, the follower starts walking forward. Shadow calmly walks behind him with his arms crossed and says, if you have someone to walk ahead and scout situations for you, exploring becomes a lot easier. But still, there's always a chance of danger here. So I should evolve my passive dodge skill as much as possible. He uses his evolution points and evolves his Ghost Shadow Blur skill 4 times, using 1, 2, 3, and 5 points respectively. Now he only has 24 evolution points left. The skill has reached epic tier. Earlier, it used to give a 15% dodge rate, but now it gives 75% dodge rate. And once this passive skill is activated, it even grants immunity to all damage. The MC reads this and becomes really happy. He says, 75% dodge rate is already incredible. Now the remaining evolution points are just enough to evolve his Instant Shadow Slash to epic tier. He spends 13 evolution points and now only has 11 left. The Instant Shadow Slash has evolved from Diamond to epic tier. Earlier, it used to flash 27 meters, now it can go 30 meters. Invisibility has increased from 9 seconds to 12 seconds. Earlier, it used to hit 7 enemies along the path, now it hits 9. The cooldown remains 12 seconds, but the slash width has increased from 4.1 to 5 meters. Each slash now deals an additional 300 to 400 damage. Seeing these results, the MC becomes really happy. He then explains that to evolve something from epic to legendary tier requires 10 times more evolution points. The higher the tier of an item, the more it costs to evolve. He gives an example. If he gets a skill book that's already epic tier, he won't need to spend any evolution points initially. Evolving it for the first time takes just 1 point, but evolving it to legendary tier will take 10 times that amount, meaning 10 points. This also means that if he finds more epic skill books, he can evolve them faster into legendary, mythical, ancient, or even immortal tier. Now he only has 11 points left, which is enough to evolve his starting skill Shadow Sneak. He evolves it twice, using 3 and then 5 points. Now he only has 3 points remaining. Shadow Sneak has evolved from silver to gold, and now to platinum tier. Earlier, it kept him in stealth for 16 seconds. Now it lasts 24 seconds. The damage upon breaking stealth has increased from 90 to 150. The cooldown, which was 26 seconds, is now just 22 seconds. Shadow comments that with one of his attributes that reduces cooldown speed by 35%, the final cooldown becomes only 16 seconds. But even this cooldown is still quite high, and the attack after stealth break is still weak. He decides he'll need to replace this skill eventually. After explaining all this, Shadow looks ahead. His follower had stepped on a tile that activated a trap. The moment the follower stepped on it, a massive boulder dropped directly on him. Shadow's follower was crushed before his eyes. Yet he doesn't flinch or react. He just stands there, watching as the follower's life force dissolves. Without any emotion, he says, "My summon died. I'll wait for the cooldown to end and summon again." This maze is extremely complex and dangerous. I'll explore it slowly. I just hope that in the end, I'll find some amazing things here. Now the scene changes and we return to the upper layer of the temple that the MC had already passed. A shield warrior and a kid peek through an empty hallway. They look around but see nothing. The shield warrior turns back and says to the captain, "I can confirm from the front. Those 2 monsters have disappeared." Their captain, possibly named Gray, says, "How is that even possible?" All 3 of them walk to the middle of the room and look around. Gray says, "Even our lifespan readings are missing. It seems someone killed those 2 monsters and took our lifespan too. But who could have done it?" The shield warrior replies, "Currently, only Expert Shadow could kill 2 silver tier boss monsters at once." The kid adds, "If Expert Shadow was really here, then it's likely he took our dropped lifespan too. At least it looks that way. But one good thing is we won't have to die again to those boss monsters." Hearing all this, Miss Gray starts thinking. She recalls that when they entered the area, they saw someone interacting with the monsters as if communicating. Could that have been Shadow? Does he have a skill that lets him control even bosses? That kind of skill is incomprehensible. His power must be insanely dangerous. The scene switches back to the MC, where his follower is again caught in a trap. Multiple arrows pierce through him, and his screams echo through the entire tunnel. The MC says, "I've been wandering here for 3 to 4 hours. It feels like this maze is finally nearing its end. Based on my past life experience, if someone used human lives to explore this ruin, at least 100 people would die here." He then summons his follower again and orders him to continue scouting ahead. Now the scene moves a little further, and we see the follower walking through a broken, eerie area. The MC follows him closely. Soon, they reach a closed door. The MC says, "Go open that door." The follower struggles, pushing with all his might, but the door doesn't budge. The MC finds it strange. Then he tries detecting the door himself. As soon as the door senses the MC's energy, it begins to open. As it opens, a dense mist and powerful energy start pouring out. Shadow looks confused. From inside, there's a strong suction pulling him inward. At first, he says nothing, then decides to enter. The scene transitions inside, and the interior looks like a whole different world. Earlier, Shadow was in a dark underground maze, but now it's a bright open sky filled with sparkling stars. The area seems like a factory at first, but it's actually a ritual site. There's a large yellow treasure chest and a woman dressed in priest robes standing beside it. As the MC enters, his eyes immediately go to the chest. He notices it's bound by thorny vines. Looking at the woman, he realizes she's an NPC. When he tries checking her information, all the stats show question marks. He thinks, This is the first time in both my lives I've encountered such a mysterious NPC. As he gets closer, the priestess says something in strange words and then goes completely silent. Her body dissolves into life force and merges with the sky, turning into light and vanishing. Shadow says, "What? She disappeared?" At the same time, all the thorny vines on the chest vanish. The chest starts glowing and Shadow says, "I don't know who that mysterious woman was, but she was definitely related to my Eye of Judgment." The chest continues glowing golden. Shadow says, "This glow means there must be epic tier items inside. But still, I must be cautious. There's always a chance it could be a mimic or a trap." He summons his devoted follower and signals toward the chest. The follower rushes like a madman and throws open the lid. A golden light bursts out from inside. Seeing it, the MC says, This is a skill book. A godly tier skill for assassins. It has both active and passive effects. It's an epic tier assassin class skill book called Pistol of Mercies. Its passive effect grants a 100% weak point hit correction. In simple words, if it hits a weak point, the damage doubles instantly. And that's just the passive effect. The epic tier skill book bursts out of the chest in a golden light. As the MC approaches it, the book displays its active effect, Split Throat. The next attack after activation deals 100% true damage. This effect lasts for 3 seconds and has a cooldown of just 60 seconds. For the MC, that cooldown is reduced to 44 seconds. You may not fully understand how the active skill works, so let me explain. Suppose the MC hits an enemy's weak point, causing 30 damage. Then, he instantly attacks the enemy's throat, dealing 100 damage. That 100 damage will continue for 3 seconds, at least 3 times. After reading that, even I understood how broken it is. I hope you got it now too. After reading both effects, Shadow says that the passive effect doubles the hitbox of enemy weak points. Even though it's an epic tier skill book, the active effect feels almost glitched. If he deals 300 damage to someone, that 300 will repeat 3 more times due to split throat, totaling 1200 damage. 3 times the damage. Luckily, it has a 60-second cooldown, or else it would have been ridiculously overpowered. But Shadow's instant Shadow Slayers can strike multiple times. Unfortunately, Split Throat only considers the first attack. Still, it only needs 10 evolution points to evolve to Legendary tier. This loot is truly a great harvest. His attack damage has increased massively. Then he turns around and says all of this happened because of Little Black. He needs to thank her and sell her team the remaining loot. He calls Little Black on the spot and says, "Tell Wang Ming to return to town. I've got some items I want to sell him." Little Black replies, "Expert, you've finished exploring the ruin? Great. We're heading back now." The teleportation gate to Cell Town opens and Shadow walks out. As he looks ahead, he sees a massive crowd waiting for him. People begin cheering wildly, yelling, "Shadow's here!" Everyone wanted to add him to their friend list. Some were just happy being his follower. Some even offered their sisters to him. And then the flood of offers began. One guy said, "Expert, I came from Freelytown. This is my little sister. She's a huge fan and just wanted to say hi." Another said, "Are you the real Shadow? I'm the chairman of the rounding group from Joghai City. I'd like to formally invite you to our corporation." One dude from Underworld Town said, "Expert, please carry us in future levels. We'll even give you our wives." The crowd was so loud that the MC could only hear names of towns. "I'm from this town. I'm from that town." Seeing this, the MC thought maybe teleportation gates from other towns had activated too. So now he could finally go to Songfei's Firefly Town. He sneaks away using his invisibility skill right through the crowd. People get confused and start yelling, "Did he vanish? Damn it, it's all your fault for crowding him." Another replies, "Weren't you doing the same? Your sister is so ugly and you dared to introduce her to the expert?" Shadow silently sneaks up behind Little Black. She gets super happy seeing him and instantly takes him to Wang Ming, shouting, "Captain, the expert's here!" Wang Ming turns around to see the MC, but the MC is shocked to see a new member in his team, his own sister, Queen Xiao. He wonders to himself, is this really Queen Xiao? How did she end up in Wang Ming's team? She could destroy it entirely. Imagining his body sleeping elsewhere, he thinks, I need to be extremely cautious now. The whole world knows that Shadow exists. I can't expose my real identity. I can't use my powers in real life yet. There are too many eyes on me. Even a kitchen knife could kill me right now. Queen Xiao, meanwhile, gives a cute smile and thinks to herself, so this is Shadow. Just one look at him tells me how powerful he is. Compared to him, Wang Ming and his team are trash. If he carried me, I could have united with Weather Songfei in just a few days. But the MC didn't want anyone to know he recognized her. So he completely ignores her and walks up to Wang Ming, sending him some items through his system screen. He says, these equipment pieces are a perfect fit for your party's classes. These skill books will greatly enhance your team's combat power. In return, I'll take just a few days of your lifespan. Wang Ming checks everything and says, that's impressive. These are all silver and gold tier, but we really can't afford all this. MC replies, that's fine, you can pay later. Hearing this, Wang Ming becomes very happy and says sincerely, thank you. I really don't know how we can repay such kindness. If you ever need our help, just say the word. Wang Ming then starts distributing the loot. The team's swordmaster puts on armor and says, damn, Shadow's awesome. I never thought I'd wear gold tier gear so soon. Wang Ming checks a skill and says, this is gold tier? Insane! My DPS will triple. He gets emotional and with teary eyes says, the expert let us buy all this on credit. That means he completely trusts us. Meanwhile, Queen Xiao was excited too, hoping to get some gold tier gear. But Wang Ming says, hey, why isn't there anything here for priests? She looks shocked and says, what? One of the teammates bluntly says, we don't have anything for priests because this girl is just leeching our experience like a parasite. But Queen Xiao ignores him and runs up to Shadow, saying, hello, expert. I'm the priest of Wang Ming's team. Do you have any equipment or items for me? Without waiting for a reply, she sends him a friend request, hoping to receive items through it. MC sees the notification. Player Little Graceful wants to add you as a friend, but does nothing. When the girl looks at him, she's stunned. MC had activated Shadow Snake, staring into her eyes emotionlessly. Then without a word, he uses the skill and disappears. The girl, now sweating, stammers, where did he go? Wang Ming chuckles and says, maybe he didn't have any items for priests this time. Try your luck next time. Another teammate says, nah, I think he ignored her on purpose. Little Black adds, Shadow's appearances are like a drug. He's just too cool. Meanwhile, Shadow uses Shadow Snake to teleport to another village's teleportation zone. He thinks, actually, I do have a gold tier item and skill book for a priest, but why would I give something so valuable to Queen Xiao? As he walks into a building, he thinks, as I progress further, I'll accumulate more unused items and skill books. Selling them one by one is a waste of time. But Wang Ming, with his authority backing, is the perfect person to sell everything in bulk. Also, I need to find a proper priest to replace Queen Xiao. Otherwise, she might become a problem for my relationship with the authorities. Then he remembers a girl. Right. I need to find little Sue as soon as possible. He reveals that in his past life, Gu Yisui was the former manager of the Godslayer Guild. She had a hidden priest class called White Advent Priestess. Along with the class came a white bird that could heal and cast buffs. She was the only priestess capable of killing epic tier bosses solo. The MC reaches the town's teleportation formation. As he stretches his hand toward it, he remembers. Little Sue was in Firefly Village, just like Song Fei. He smiles and says, perfect. The teleportation circle to Firefly Village opens. He thinks, if I can find little Sue here, I'll get her to join Wang Ming's team. A notification pops up. You are now teleporting to Firefly Town. Moments later, he appears in Firefly Town, which looks like a desert, but unlike his own village, this one was peaceful. Suddenly, some people teleport in, looking angry. They had just finished and were sent here. They shouted, "Quick! That silver boss's HP is below half. We can't let anyone else steal the finish or our deaths will be in vain." Another yells, "Damn that bastard Song Fei! He brought a whole bunch of fangirls. Who can even compete with that? I can't stand that pretty boy anymore. Today, I'll finish him for sure." Hearing all this, Shadow smiles and thinks, well, I didn't expect to find clues about Song Fei so quickly. The scene shifts to a barren valley, a level 5 area called Wailing Valley. It's filled with monsters like emberfights and sakels. As MC walks further, he hears shouting, "How dare you hit me! Attack him!" He sees a 2-headed, 4-armed monster covered in flames fighting multiple players. They were shouting orders while battling. MC thinks, that's a twin-headed Emberfiend, a silver-tier boss, but things look chaotic here. He notices many players fighting each other. Confused, he looks around and spots a guy dressed like royalty surrounded by girls. Song Fei MC mutters, "So this is that sewer rat, Song Fei." 2 players charge toward Song Fei. One shouts, "You ambushed me and stole all my lifespan. I'll finish you today." Another raises a shield and yells, "Think you're safe behind those girls? I'll use my anti-mage skill. Lockjaw, prepare to die." Suddenly, one of Song Fei's mage girls smashes the shield warrior with her staff, saying, "Don't even think about hurting my appa." The shocked warrior asks, "How can a mage girl have so much strength?" MC explains that Song Fei has a heaven-defying mage god title. In his past life, he tricked many fangirls into choosing mage class. Then he stole their loot to power himself up. But a team can't survive with mages alone. So the girls found creative solutions. Some maxed out intelligence to become glass cannons. Some maxed agility to become disruption mages. Some put everything in health to become meat shields. The same girl raises her staff and yells, "Now eat my staff!" MC adds, some even maxed strength to become battle mages. And they fought using their staffs directly. In the early days, they were dominant. Stealing life, span from players, no one could resist. But as the game progressed, most of these fangirls finish easily. The scene shift, with Song Fei loudly yelling to manipulate the girls around him. "Sisters, you're all working so hard. It breaks my heart. I just hope this boss dies soon so everyone can rest. I wish this world could be filled with love instead of violence." Hearing his dialogue, I honestly started doubting the MC. I thought maybe he was lying to us, because I didn't hear even a hint of manipulation in Song Fei's voice. It just sounded completely cringe. And somehow, despite those cringe lines, the girls are still falling for his manipulation. One chubby girl, pointing at the monster, says, "No, brother Song Fei, it's really not that hard. You're the one suffering the most here. You've worked so hard you shouldn't have to endure this. Sisters, let's take down this creature together and not let anyone hurt brother Song Fei." These girls even start chanting slogans for Song Fei. Out of nowhere, it turns into some kind of poetic chant. The monsters grow wild. Song Fei's reasoning is supreme. From the beginning to the future, everything is for Song Fei. Man, I'm cringing even while trying to explain it. So from this point on, I'm not even going to attempt to explain their dialogue. All the girls start attacking the monster with their magical powers. Irritated, the 2-headed monster lets out a fierce roar and launches a fire attack directly at Song Fei. Seeing this, even Song Fei is shocked. But just then, one girl jumps right in front of the fire attack without caring for her life. Instead of helping her, Song Fei backs away from the fire, and as the girl begins to dissolve into life spam, he starts pretending like he really cares. "Oh my goodness, sister," the girl says, Brother Songfei, as always, we're absolutely crazy for you. I just want to say this to the writers. May your keyboards get infested with bugs for writing lines like these. At first, I really liked this series, but now it's just pure cringe. That same chubby girl once again starts rallying the others. Sisters, stay strong. Once we defeat this monster, Brother Songfei will reach first place on the leaderboard. We must surpass that so-called shadow no matter what. Despite how she looks, her motivational speech actually works. The girls get fired up and, while screaming their cringe lines, start attacking with full force. After their assault, the monster finally begins to weaken a bit. Its health has dropped. Seeing this, Songfei thinks, finally, it's about to die. And if a silver tier boss is this hard to defeat, how could anyone possibly take down a gold tier boss alone? That guy, Shadow, must be exploiting some bug or glitch. He thinks, I've got so many people helping me, and I'm still stuck at level 7. What kind of glitch could let someone level up so fast? Now he gets excited. Once I kill this silver tier boss, I'll shoot straight to level 8. Shadow's been stuck at level 9 for ages. I'll surpass him in one shot and become the #1 player in Gold Forsaken. But just as he's dreaming all this, Shadow appears and grabs him by the face, lifts his head right off his neck, and literally severs it in one clean strike. The peace I felt watching that moment, I can't even describe it. Finally, the nonsense stopped. We see our MC, Shadow, using instant Shadow Slash to decapitate him and dash ahead. His rage is so intense that he crushes the remains of Songfei's head with his bare hands. The girls are absolutely shocked. They call out to their Appa, but darkness starts engulfing them too. And, well, you can imagine the rest. A notification appears. You have killed the silver tier boss, twin-headed Aberpaint. He gains 1500 XP, and along with Songfei, all the players in his team also get killed. Notifications for their deaths pop up too. Players from Heaven Divine God to Songfei, all of them get death messages. Shadow's attack was so devastating that even after they died, the area kept taking damage. Anyone caught in it was instantly killed and dissolved into lifespan. People nearby scream, how is this possible? He one-shotted a boss? That skill is dealing thousands of damage. Damn, this is insane. My strongest skill barely does 1050 damage, but he's doing thousands, even to bosses. That's 10 times stronger than me. Someone reminds the others, this was an AoE attack. It wiped out Songfei and his whole fan squad in one move. Who the hell is this assassin? Could this be Shadow? He was the first to kill a gold-tier boss monster. Who else could be this powerful? Everyone move back, let the expert claim his loot. As MC moves forward to collect his loot, people behind him start chanting Shadow's name, praising him for wiping out Songfei and his evil team. He did us a favor. Shadow is truly OP. Some even start confessing their love for him. Hearing all this, the MC thinks, yeah, they're just afraid I might kill them too. If this was my previous life, they'd have all ganged up to kill me by now. The scene cuts to Firefly Town's teleportation device, where Songfei and his entire gang are now respawning. A notification pops up for Songfei. You were killed by Shadow. You've lost 1106 days of tradable lifespan and 18 years, 113 days of non-tradable lifespan. But Songfei looks utterly confused. I got killed? Shadow killed me? He wonders. There are hundreds of starter towns in Jiangai City. Why did Shadow come to Firefly Town of all places? Did he really come here just to steal my boss kill? Just then, his fangirls respawn too. They scream, I died? But how, brother? You too? Another one reminds, it was Shadow. He killed our brother. Another chimes in, obviously, he wanted the silver tier boss. He attacked brother while he wasn't even looking. What a scumbag. What a trash human being. At that moment, an archer girl steps up and says, Brother Songfei, Can I join your team? I'm an archer. I have a skill called Eagle Eye that can detect stealth. Hearing this, all the other girls widen their eyes and yell, "Get lost! Brother Songfei only accepts mages." Another one points and says, "Your DPS is too low. It'll hurt Brother Songfei's ranking." The archer girl panics and starts backing away. But just then, Songfei steps forward with open arms and his usual loving tone. "Even so, my family, I believe love can conquer all." He walks toward her sweetly and says, "I can feel your passion. Even if you're an archer, that doesn't matter. Come, join us. Let's grow together." The moment Songfei touches her hand, her face turns bright red like a tomato. She gets so flustered she doesn't know what to say, and starts confessing her love for him right there. Seeing her succeed, more girls start screaming, "Brother Songfei, I'm an assassin! If you take me with you, I can use stealth and make that shadow taste his own medicine." A magic girl says, "Brother Songfei, I've learned a crowd control ice skill. I can freeze him." Songfei continues with his cringe dialogue. "My family, we're all one, filled with love. Anyone who wants to join us is welcome. Let's all stand together." The girls go wild. I'm not even going to explain any of it. They start chanting again, now cursing Shadow and praising Songfei, repeating the same poem. "We'll get revenge. We'll avenge our brother. We'll finish Shadow and get revenge for Brother Songfei." This madness leads to two guys talking in the back. "What's with all the noise? What's that little celebrity planning now?" The second guy chuckles and says, "Didn't you hear? He died somewhere out there." The first one is shocked. But all those girls were protecting him. How could he die? "He was finished by Shadow. What more do you need to know?" Hearing that, the guy gets hyped and yells, "Damn, Shadow really is a legend. But he's going to need guts to go up against this group. These crazy girls are next-level nuts." The scene shows those girls marching, chanting for Songfei, crying their eyes out in devotion. Songfei feels their love and thinks, "Good. So many people are watching. If I finish Shadow, the whole world will know. No matter how strong a lone wolf is, it doesn't matter. Especially that buzzing little assassin. How could such a tiny, weak being even be compared to a noble mage like me?" Meanwhile, Shadow uses his greedy hand skill on their loot. He earns 16 evolution points, 217 days of tradable lifespan, 6 silver tier items, and 1 gold tier loot. Without wasting time, he evolves his epic tier skill, Pistol of Mercy, to legendary. 10 points are deducted, leaving him with 9. The passive effect now does 200% weak point damage instead of 100%. The active effect, Hit Slot, now does 150% bonus damage for 3 seconds instead of 100%. Cooldown reduced from 30 to 25 seconds, but with his cooldown reduction, it's down to just 18 seconds now. MC explains using an image. 200% weak point damage correction means my target's weak point is now twice as large. If you don't get it, just look at this image. A typical weak point is the head, but now, thanks to my evolved skill, it stretches to the chest. After this evolution, it's even bigger. If it gets any bigger, half the enemy's body will be a weak point. Even my instant Shadow Slash can now trigger weak point damage. And my Throat Slit skill got a huge boost too, with a reduced cooldown. With this, I might be able to one-shot a gold tier boss. But when he thinks about evolving this skill even further, the system informs him that evolving a legendary skill to mythical now requires 100x more evolution points, 200 total. He watches the dissolving life spam and realizes, if this continues, evolving Greedy Hand from epic to legendary cost me 210 points. From legendary to mythical will take 3,400 points. I've only got 9, clearly not enough. So instead, I'll evolve Backstab Enhancement. He evolves his passive skill from gold to platinum tier. It now boosts back attack damage by 40% instead of 30%. While walking, he checks his loot and shares. Killing one silver tier boss and all the other players earned me 1,400 days of tradable life spam. I've looted everything I could. Time to head back. Lost in his thoughts, he suddenly hears footsteps. A girl sneaks up and tries to backstab him. She shouts, "Shadow, die!" Her dagger reaches his neck, about to slit his throat, but Shadow just leans back slightly and dodges it. She tried to backstab Shadow. Big mistake. Her attack misses, and confused, she screams, "Why?" But Shadow vanishes. Fog spreads around her. Damn it. Is this stealth? When MC looks up, he sees an entire crowd of girls charging in. They scream, "Die, Shadow! Today you die right here!" All of them activate their elemental powers, ice, fire, wind, full of rage. They yell, "We must avenge Brother Sungfei!" Scene shift with the MC using his stealth to dodge their magic. But then the archer from their team shouts, "It's useless, we can easily detect your stealth." She fires her eagle arrow, which flies into the sky and spreads its feathers all around. Down below, we see that a girl's stealth has been broken. She was a newly joined assassin among the fangirls. The fat one yells, "Sisters, attack with your strongest skills. Fangirls, charge forward. Not even a single blade of grass should remain visible." They cast their most powerful spells toward the ground, causing a massive explosion. But up above, people were confused because there was no notification of Shadow's death. However, an assistant from their own team had definitely died. Then that buffalo pig hybrid says, No, it doesn't matter. She wasn't a real mage anyway. She never truly loved Songfei. This is divine retribution." She orders, "Hurry, use your eagle eyes again to find Shadow." The archer nods and starts loading another arrow. But suddenly the sound of 2 ghost fire bells rings across the area. The MC had used the special effect of ghost fire bells, which stuns all enemies within a 100-meter radius for 3 seconds. It has a cooldown of 521 seconds. As soon as the sound reaches their ears, everyone is stunned, unable to understand what's happening. The archer says, "I can't move!" Right then, MC charges in with instant shadow slash, striking down like a disaster. In just one move, they're all dead. No one even understands what hit them. After finishing them, MC heads straight toward Songfei. But Songfei can't see Shadow at all, so he hides behind the trees. He mutters, "What's happening? How did everyone die so suddenly? Was it Shadow? But how? If he attacked, shouldn't his invisibility have broken? Why can't I see him?" MC was standing right next to him. He leans close and whispers in his ear, "Songfei, you already died the moment you betrayed Joseon." Songfei is so terrified that his soul almost leaves his body. Shocked, he yells, "Damage!" and quickly casts a magic shield. But MC's poison dart pierces through the shield and hits his forehead. Before he can even react, the poison deals so much damage that he collapses and dies on the spot. MC stands there calmly, holding the poison darts and staring at him. He then looks around and sees the loot of the fangirls scattered everywhere. MC says, "I killed so many fangirls, and not one of them dropped even a single day of tradable lifespan." Did Songfei take all their tradable lifespan for himself? How terrifying. He really brainwashed them that badly. Even after all that, MC wonders, will people still think God-Forsaken game is just a game? What a huge loss. I can't even absorb this non-tradable lifespan. I'll have to leave it for the monsters here. I can't do anything. I'm basically feeding the monsters. MC then looks at Songfei's loot and says, "Wait, this guy had tradable lifespan. If I calculate it, he had about 2,000 days worth." The scene changes to Firefly Town's teleportation gate. Songfei and his team arrive through teleportation. Songfei is losing his mind, shouting, "Damn it, I'm down to only 500 days of tradable lifespan. That bastard Shadow!" He turns to the archer. "Didn't you use your detection skill to find him? Then why couldn't you?" The archer, with a trembling voice, replies, "I did, but I could only detect our assassin sister. The pig-faced girl says, I checked the stealth levels in the attributes. Maybe Shadow has extremely high stealth. The archer then realizes, oh right, my eagle eye skill only has level 1 anti-stealth detection. That means it can only detect targets with level 1 stealth. If the enemy has level 2 or higher, I can't see them. The pig girl tries to comfort Songfei, but he responds gloomily, damn it, Shadow comes and goes without a trace. How do I defend against him? Then, acting again to brainwash the girls, he puts on a pitiful face and says, I never even made him angry, yet he stole my boss kill and kept attacking me. What if he's jealous of me because of my good looks? The girls see this pitiful face and get fired up again, yelling, no! For everyone's safety, we must level up faster. Wherever Songfei goes, we swear to follow him. Later, we see MC walking around in Firefly Town. He wonders, strange, where did Songfei and his group go? Did they move to another town or log out? Shadow walks up to a guy, breaks his invisibility, and asks, hey, did you see Songfei and his group? The guy gets startled seeing the black figure and says, wow, Expert Shadow, you really scared me. Yes, I saw Songfei. He went that way. Please go and kill him. Just, please spare my girlfriend. She's a female hunter named Feibao Kitty. Shadow replies, it's better if you find a new girlfriend. But deep inside he thinks, I'm sure she's the one who tried to detect my stealth earlier. Hearing Shadow mention a new girlfriend, the guy panics. Please, Expert. I worked so hard to get a girlfriend. But MC uses Shadow Sneak and walks away. The guy pleads behind him. Please, please. Ignoring him, MC thinks, I may know which direction they went, but not their exact destination. Searching the whole world blindly would take forever. If only I could find Guyu. Just then, as if fate heard him, a girl walks by. Shadow is shocked to see her. When he looks closely, he realizes it's the same healer with the owl. He immediately turns off his invisibility and says, hey, beautiful lady, could you help me a bit? The girl is not startled at all. She replies, Your Shadow? Shadow pulls out a shiny gold tier staff from his inventory and says, I heard your class can search for targets in a wide area. If you find Songfei for me, I'll sell this to you really cheap. The girl is surprised and says, wow, but how do you know I can do AoE search? I never told anyone. MC replies, don't worry about that. Do you want the gold tier weapon or not? The girl says, yes, I want it, but I might not be able to afford it. Shadow says, even the cheapest gold tier item is worth 700 to 800 days of lifespan. Do you at least have 500? She replies, yes, I do. MC hands her the staff and says, then it's a deal. They successfully complete the transaction. She looks at the shining staff, drooling and giggling like a maniac. Hehehe, gold tier staff. MC lightly taps her head and says, hurry up. She responds, oh, right, and activates her skill. She thinks, this is my first time meeting Shadow, yet he feels strangely familiar. Shadow asks, aren't you worried that I'll take your staff and run away? She replies, wait, you know I hate Songfei? Are you someone I know in real life? Shadow laughs and says, wanna guess? She says, nah, I don't care. She sends her owl flying into the sky to scout, looking very serious like she wants revenge. We then see the owl flying across Firefly Town and into the wild. There it spots a team. The girl says, I found Songfei. His coordinates are 3866 and 9527, but I can't guarantee they'll still be there by the time you arrive. Shadow rushes off in full speed and says, add me to your friend list and keep tracking them. Send me updates. The girl shouts, but how long do I have to watch them? Shadow interrupts. It won't take more than a moment. The scene shifts to a wild area. Shadow arrives but suddenly stops, shocked by something he sees ahead. He steps back and leans toward a tree. There's a strange mark on it. On voice call, Guiyu asks, Expert, Why did you stop? Shadow studies the mark carefully and says, check around. Are there any other trees with the same mark? Guiyu scans and says, yes, there are 3 trees forming a triangle. MC injects energy into one tree's mark. She asks, what kind of symbol is this? MC activates the second mark and says, why don't you try guessing? He activates the third, and suddenly a brilliant light emerges. A power triangle forms, and from the center, a treasure chest appears. Guiyu screams, a jet-tier treasure chest! Shadow says, I never imagined I'd encounter an ancient god's blessing in a starter village. I'm really lucky. He explains that these blessings can appear anywhere in godforsaken land. Some summon boss monsters, others summon treasure chests or give unique rewards. Guiyu hears this and goes crazy. That's at least a 1,000-day tradable chest. That's 10 million RMB. She tries to memorize how he activated the symbols. Shadow opens the chest and receives the skill, Blossoming Curse. He's confused. Blossoming Curse? What kind of skill is this? He checks the info. A universal jet-tier skill that can be used on any player's body within 15 seconds of death. It spawns a cursed flower that continuously drains tradable lifespan until the body is empty. No cooldown. Shadow is shocked. So, this is the broken skill I heard about in my past life. The name fits perfectly. He immediately learns the skill. Now whenever I finish someone, I just have to guard the body briefly, and this cursed flower will drain everything. He turns back towards Songfei and thinks, your good days are over. I'll hunt you down until you log out of the game. Then I'll rush to level 10 and extract all my abilities into reality. For the good of this world, I'll finish you in reality as well. The scene shifts to a monster being attacked by powerful lightning and fire magic. A moment later, it's dead. It turns out that Songfei and his team were the ones who kill it. Laughing joyfully, he thinks, we've come so far, there's no way that Shadow Guy can find us now, right? Making a twisted face, he adds, once I grind my way to high levels, I'll settle the score with that Shadow too. Next, we see another team fighting a fish-like monster nearby. A round-faced girl says, brother, look over there. A team is fighting the boss monster. Songfei acts surprised and says, oh my god, they look familiar. Aren't they Jiangsu's fans? The moment she hears the name Jiangsu, the chubby girl transforms into a demon and starts screaming. Her entire team also transforms instantly. Everyone starts yelling, ugh, those annoying Jiangsu fans again. These fanatics never give up. They'll do anything to push Jiangsu to the top. The demon girl screams like a lunatic. Sisters, charge! Finish them all! We won't let these fools mess with our brother's ranking. Meanwhile, the team fighting the boss monster also notices the incoming group. Their captain says, great, reinforcements are here. He turns to Songfei team and says, hey, we've almost defeated the boss, let's finish it together. But the very next moment, a staff strikes his face with such force that he's knocked out and slammed into the ground. This attack came from that same demon girl who now looks completely insane. The opposing team is shocked. One girl nervously says, what the hell are you people doing? Have you lost your minds? Honestly, this girl seems smart. Just one look and she understood these people are out of control. With killing intent in their eyes, the demon fangirls say in a terrifying tone, this is what happens to anyone who goes against News Jiang. The girl yells, News Jiang? I don't even know what you're talking about. But suddenly, a rain of arrows hits her, knocking her out instantly. She's stunned and helpless. Her teammate, Misha, cries out her name. But it's too late. Meanwhile, the fangirls begin singing poems dedicated to Songfei and start charging up their attacks. Don't worry, I won't bore you by reciting those cheap poems. They launch their charged attacks directly at the boss monster and the enemy team. These attacks are incredibly powerful, causing massive explosions. It even looks like these girls are spitting poems along with their blasts. After the attack, the boss monster and the enemy team's loot and lifespan are scattered on the ground. Songfei is on cloud. He says, "Oh my goodness! Thank you, my dear family. I was almost ambushed by those Newsjiang fans. I never thought they'd be this ruthless." Hearing this, the fangirls start crying while singing poems. "You don't need to thank us," they say lovingly. MC, watching from behind, is fuming with rage. He uses Shadow Sneak and moves toward them. A voice echoes, "Songfei, you're already done for." That's the same line Shadow always says before striking. Everyone freezes in fear. Songfei looks around, but before he can react, the MC strikes him down again, ending the fight in one clean move. Everyone starts crying, calling out his name. But the MC just stands there calmly holding Songfei's lifeless body. Then he uses Blossoming Curse, and a massive cursed flower blooms from where the body lay. Seeing this terrifying cursed flower bloom from Songfei's body, the girls get shaken. "What is that thing?" they scream.